All right, another morning. That was a shelter, big branch shelter that stayed at last night. And Kriegus showed up. He's a kid, 19-year-old kid I've been crossing paths with for a few days, and so we had a long time just to talk and stuff last night. So that was cool. Got to bed really early. A few other people came in later. You could probably hear the big branch river or creek or whatever it is, but it's huge and loud, and man, it definitely blocked out everyone snoring or anything else that might bother you. Got very cold last night, down to the low 40s, high 30s, and I stayed in the shelter, and so did everyone else because there was nowhere to tent around that shelter. Burr, and I stayed really nice and toasty till I had to get up this morning, like everyone else, of course, and put on my wet socks from yesterday and my wet shirt from yesterday and start hiking. So I'm freezing, but I'm glad I have my little bit of my winter stuff that I got in my last box I sent myself. So when I got up this morning, I had my puffy jacket to put on while I was dilly-dallying around, getting things packed up and eating breakfast. That kept me really warm. And I've got gloves on. First time I've worn those this year, and I certainly don't need them by any means, but I'm glad I have them. And my beanie, and so yeah, anyway. I just got to keep moving. I'll heat up fast. And it's only supposed to get into like the low 60s today, so it won't warm up massively, but it'll be perfect hiking weather. So today I go about, one of those days I could do like 17 or 23 again, so I'll end up doing about 23 miles today, and that will put me somewhere around like 13 or 14 miles from Killington, where I'm taking my 0 day. So that means I've got a good solid, pretty long hiking day for me today. And then tomorrow I'll have a shorter day, kind of a 2/3 day, and then I'll be in my motel tomorrow night. All right. I gotta move faster. Whew. I'm coming up to Little Rock Pond. There's a shelter here I thought about trying to get to last night, but I did not. Had a good lunch here at the shelter. There was a small handful of guys here, and they took off, and now I'm ready to take off too. I've got another almost exactly 10 miles, about maybe 9.8, 9.9 to the shelter I'm going to be staying at tonight. Still a relatively chilly day. There was some sun out earlier. Now it's behind some clouds. And I don't know, it's about perfect weather for me. So I'm enjoying this. All right. Keep on moving. So coming up not too far here is a highway, or a route, whatever. Some paved road that you just don't come across much in this part of, around this part of the trail, like further south where you're crossing roads constantly. But shortly after that road begins some pretty steep climbing, about 1.5 miles of kind of what'll be tough climbing, and then the rest of the day will be a breeze. And this trail right now is a breeze getting to the road. So that'll be a little hard, but might be fun too. There's a portion of it that says it's like a rock scramble, you know? So I don't know exactly what that means. I'm picturing kind of like something similar to that 900-foot wall of rocks in Pennsylvania, but probably not 900 feet, where it's just a bunch of rocks. You literally have to kind of put your poles away and just climb. So let's see what that is. Okay, that was fun, but I'm tired. Whew. You've heard me say this about other shelters before, but apparently this shelter has got some habituated bears. People, you know, think they know what they're doing, and they come out and I don't know what way the AT goes here. It doesn't show anything. Anyway, they come out and they hang their bag up in such a way they think, you know, a bear can't get into it, and the bear gets into it. And so it's a little ridiculous. Then people can't come around anymore. So apparently bears have been like going straight up to people and just taking their food. And so that's a little scary. Anyway, stay away from there. So this sign here says Katahdin is 500 miles away, but I think that's an old sign, and I believe that Katahdin is almost exactly, this is what I calculated at this point, 504 miles away on the trail, which means that my trip is exactly halfway done at this point. I had 1,008 miles to do to finish the trail, and I've done 504 right now, and I've got 504 left. So within a tenth or two anyway. So that's pretty good. My concern is today's June 23rd. I wanted to finish on July 23rd. Started on May 27th. So when you factor in 0 days and stuff, I am maybe 1 day ahead of schedule. But blah, 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 as I've said many times before, I've got this section in the White Mountains coming up that's going to set me back. So I have got to start doing regularly more miles. But at least I'm not behind on my original schedule. So I believe I can start doing some more miles eventually and make it. So there is still hope.